What's up, everyone? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and thank you for joining me here for your free picks for Saturday. That's December 30th. Well, guys, on Friday we had only four Serie A games on the schedule, and the Italians were not kind to us on Friday. Out of those four free picks, we've hit only one, and that was Lazio versus Frosinone, which we had both teams to score. Uh, Inter 1-1 on the road. Napoli had about 25 shots or something like that. They were not able to score a goal. In fact, they got lucky because their goalkeeper saved a penalty kick, and that game ended in a nil-nil draw. While Fiorentina and Torino ended in a 1-0 win for Fiorentina, and even though Torino had a decent amount of chances in that game, good chances, they were not able to score a goal. So that was another one that we lost. But we move on to the Saturday now, guys. We have six EPL games and we have a few more games in Serie A, which we are going to tread carefully, simply because they were on a bit of a break. So I'm guessing the teams are still not set just yet after that Christmas break, and we have to be careful with those. For more free picks, of course, go up to the Pickdawgz YouTube channel, guys. Check it out. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. And of course, for my best bets, click the link in the description of this video. That will get you up to my page on the Pickdawgz website, and there you can sign up, get a daily pass, 3-day pass, 7-day pass, or even a month-long pass if that's something you want to do, guys. Let's get this show on the road, guys. Like I said, we have six games in EPL. The first one is at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That's between Luton Town and Chelsea. And you know what? Both teams are playing in a pretty decent form right now. Chelsea has lost only one of their last four games while winning the other three. While Luton Town is now on a two-game winning streak, which is gonna be highly significant for them because they are fighting to get above the relegation zone, and they definitely need every point they can get. But we'll see if they can beat Chelsea. Now, like I said, Chelsea has been winning some games. However, most of those wins were at home, and they're still yet to get a win on the road. And the last win on the road they got was back in uh, early November against Tottenham. But I know that they're playing well. I know that they're looking a little bit better, and I know that the there have been comments after that win against Crystal Palace this past weekend. Oh, yay, Chelsea is back. We are getting back to the top half of the table. We are getting back to the top five. Come on, guys, manage your expectations. This is Chelsea. This has happened before this season already, and until they kind of go on a nice 5-6 game streak of positive results, not necessarily all the wins, but until they start scoring goals consistently, whether they play at home or on the road, only then I will be willing to put money on Chelsea. Can they win this game? They definitely could. Do they deserve to be the favorites? They should be the favorites because they are the better team. They are the deeper team. But like I said, Luton Town has been doing a decent job as of late, and they will definitely be a threat to Chelsea here and their defense. So instead of the sides, guys, over 2.5 minus 162. That's pretty much the only thing I'm willing to take in this game at the moment. Aston Villa will be hosting Burnley in the next EPL matchup, and the way they lost that game against Manchester United was, I would say, pretty messed up for them. They had a 2-0 lead at halftime, and they fell apart in the second half. They conceded three goals and ended up losing that game 3-2. And someone will have to pay now, and I'm afraid that Burnley is it. I think that Aston Villa is one of the best home teams in the league. They are in third place right now. They're scoring a lot of goals. They're creating a lot of chances. And in the nine home games so far, Aston Villa has scored 26 goals while conceding only six goals. When we factor in that Burnley has scored only 8 goals on the road so far and conceded 14, I think this is gonna be all Aston Villa in this one. So I'm gonna take Aston Villa to win and over 2.5 at minus 125. Crystal Palace is hosting Brentford, and it seems like everybody's beating Brentford these days. They got destroyed by Wolverhampton 4-1 at home in their last game. Before that, they were defeated by Aston Villa also at home 2-1, and this is actually their fourth loss in a row. We know that Brentford is a solid team. We know that they can win games. We know that they can score goals, and we know that the Crystal Palace can do the same. Sure, they ended up losing. 2-1, but it was a late penalty shot, which I know that there has been some controversy about. Again, I haven't seen it personally, but I think I read something about it. But you know what? Crystal Palace is a team that's been scoring goals quite consistently, and now when they're facing such a terrible team defensively like Brentford is, the team that has a bunch of injured players and suspended players as well, uh, I'm gonna take Crystal Palace team total over 1.5 goals in this one at plus 125 at home. I think they can give us 2 goals here, whether they win a game or not. I don't really care as long as they give us 2 goals that we need. Manchester City and Sheffield is another matchup in the EPL that we have going on Saturday, guys. And City is now again on a 3 game winning streak. They have scored 10 goals in those 3 games, at least 2 goals in each of their last 6 games in a row. Unfortunately for them, they are conceding goals as well. But uh, fortunately for them, they are playing against Sheffield United, the team that scored only 5 goals in 9 games on the road so far this season, and the team that is not playing well at the moment. So I think this is going to be all City, who hasn't lost to Sheffield in their last 9 home games. They are still undefeated at home this season overall. And like I said, even without Haaland in the lineup, even without Jeremy Doku, even without Kevin De Bruyne, they are creating chances, they are scoring goals, and I think they are going to get another win. But we have to look for some value somewhere as they are minus 1250 favorites. So I'm taking over 1.5 goals in the first half at minus 122. Wolverhampton is hosting Everton, and this might be one of the most interesting games of the day in the EPL, if you ask me. I know that Everton is now on a 3 game losing streak, and they had some tough opponents over the last couple of weeks, but on the positive side, Everton has been scoring goals quite consistently for the entire season, and they are fighting to stay above the relegation zone. They are fighting to stay in the league. They definitely have the quality. They have the gameplay right now. They have been showing it, and I think that they can score a goal against Wolverhampton here. No, no problem about it, in my opinion. Now, can they keep a clean sheet against this Wolves team? No, I don't think they can, especially in the current form. Wolves have scored 6 goals in their last 2 games, and as the same as Everton, they have been conceding goals quite steadily as well. So I think this is going to be pretty much fairly even matchup, but I think it's going to be a fairly open matchup where we're going to see a bunch of chances on both sides. So both teams to score minus 134, that's gonna be my pick for this game, guys, and I think it's gonna be a nice winner for us. For the last game of the day in the EPL, guys, we have Nottingham Forest playing against Manchester United, and we have to do it, right? I know that they have been very, very sloppy this season. I know that they have been all over the place, but the way they won that game against Aston Villa is gonna be massive, massive, massive confidence boost for this Manchester United team. On the other hand, Hoyland finally scored an EPL goal. That's going to be a massive confidence boost for him. I'm sure he's going to be in the starting lineup once again. Garnacho is having an outstanding season. Even Rashford looked quite solid in that second half. And I'm one of his biggest critics because he hasn't done anything this season. So the entire Manchester United team became something else in the second half of that game, and it paid off with dividends. They scored 3 goals. They got a 3-2 win. They defended really well. Also, Onana had a couple of great saves, and like I said, we simply have to do it, guys. We have to take Manchester United to the money line at plus 114. I know that Nottingham Forest is coming off of a win, and it was a big win against Newcastle, 3-1. But now, when Manchester United finally got a win, they finally snapped that losing streak. I have to take them, especially at this plus money we are getting them. So, uh, Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. I'm taking Manchester United on the money line at plus 114. Off to the Italian Serie A, guys. We have 3 games to talk about here, even though we have more of them on the schedule. I decided to single out, well, not to single out, I decided to talk about the 3 games that we have here. And the first one is between Atalanta and Lecce. Now, Atalanta, I know that they have been solid this season. fairly consistent, I would say, but they do have their problems on the defensive end, and they tend to lose focus, which has cost them points against Bologna in their last game just before the Christmas break. As far as Lecce goes, sure, they're playing much better at home than they're playing on the road, but they're averaging one scored goal per game on the road, and Atalanta is conceding just below a goal on average when playing at home. But I think that Lecce has what it takes to get to the scoreboard here, especially because they were both on the break and the defenses are not set, the teams are not set. They both have some injuries, some suspensions, and whatnot. So I decided to go with both teams to score in this one at plus 104. Milan and Sassuolo is another matchup in the EPL, and that's a 12 p.m. Eastern Time game, guys. And Milan is now undefeated in their last three games. They had a 2-2 draw against Salernitana just before Christmas break. While Sassuolo on the other side has been dropping points, and they have been dropping them a lot, to be honest. They have lost three of their last four games. But on the positive side, I guess they have been scoring goals quite consistently, and they have scored at least a goal in each of their last 8 or 9 games in a row. So we know that Milan has a bunch of defensive problems. They are missing a ton of defenders. They're missing a bunch of other players as well. So I think that both teams to score in over 2.5 at minus 117. I think that's the way to go in this game. And the final game of this video, guys, is between Juventus and Roma. It's gonna be a big derby in Serie A on Saturday. Two teams in a solid form. Juventus still undefeated at home, and they haven't lost to Roma in their last three home games. But Roma has lost only one of their last six games, and they are coming off of a magnificent win against Napoli 2-0. And I gotta be honest, guys, this type of a game is a specialty for Jose Mourinho and his teams. And this is where uh, Roma will become a little bit more aggressive on the pitch. They will try to interrupt those passing game that Juventus has. They will try to interrupt those attacks early, which means a lot of fouls, and they will simply wait for their opportunities on the counter attacks. Um, Juventus is missing some players because of the suspensions or injuries. So does Roma. And I think this is gonna be a battle on the pitch, guys. I think it's gonna be a highly intense game. I think there's gonna be a lot of tension on the pitch, off the pitch, in the stands. And I think we're gonna see some cards in this one, and probably most of them by Roma. So I decided to take over 3.5 cards for Roma at plus 120. It's a nice plus money, guys. I think it's gonna be, like I said, I think it's gonna be an intense game. Whoever comes out on top, good for them. But I think that Roma will get at least four cards in this game. So Juventus versus Roma. I'm taking Roma over 3.5 cards at plus 120. Now, guys, I was thinking about putting together a parlay. I honestly could not put together five picks that I really like to put them in a nice parlay for you. But if I'm able to put something together, I will put it in the comment of this video, guys. So check it out, guys. Stay tuned. And we do not have a lot going on Sunday, I don't think, but we are going to have a nice weekend to finish up this year strong. And then we are moving on to the new year. And with the kickoff of the other competitions next week, we're going to have another busy weekend and we'll be back to our old winning days. That's it, guys. Enjoy your day. Have a great Saturday. Good luck with all of your bets. And I'll see you soon with more free picks.